What's up, fellow lords of gaming, and welcome back to the channel. So we got a lot to get into. We're going to be jumping into some solo rise content, so let's jump right on in. So I delayed doing this update mostly because the 50-day celebration event was really bugged. I recorded a video like, hey, this thing is bugged as all get out, and they finally fixed it. So the 50-day celebration event is finally in full swing. They delayed it by 1 day, so they extended it by 1 day, so you guys are good to go. Jump over here, basically in the little star icon to get to your events, and you get pulled into this right here. You're going to be trying to collect these star cards. These should be familiar from our previous event where we had to get the letters and stuff. Get star cards as a in between, so you're going to be able to collect these from a number of places, whether you're doing gates, instance dungeons, or encore missions. And what you're going to be basically doing is collecting these with the icons, which will drop from other varying events. You'll see here it's the same thing. It's encore missions, instance dungeons, where you can get the collection tokens and so forth, gates. So you're going to be playing with those basically throughout, and you're going to collect these, and this is going to enable you to unlock some rewards for the 50-day celebration event. Namely, there's some really good ones. Specifically, I would be looking to headhunt for Seo Jiwoo's exclusive weapon, especially if you have her, or you don't have her, because she's a really powerful and strong character, and being able to get her weapon to advance to another tier is going to be really good. So I would highly suggest that you do that. We do get the 50-day celebration ticket for Seo Jiwoo as well, so you're going to be able to obtain Seo Jiwoo if you don't have her already. Basically, you get this is going to summon her, or you can use hers as an advancement as well. So this is a really good item site. I would really suggest that you headhunt specifically for those two things and get them right away, especially if you're free to play. Next things that I would probably assume that you should be looking for is going to be the amount of power extract, which is going to help you level up your skills. These are hard to come by, and then the weapon, the design tickets as well. I know it seems like I should be automatically suggesting do the custom draw ticket, but the difference with the deal with the custom draw ticket is that it's 5, and realistically it's a chance at getting something, while these things are a guaranteed method for you to level up your account really quickly. So check out the 50-day celebration collection event, start working on your gates, start working on your encore missions, start working on your instance dungeons, and net yourself some seriously good rewards at these two limitations already. Next up is that we have this treasure hunter event that is currently on your game. So you're basically collecting these little treasure hunt event tickets. You can see here, you're going to go to the Pit-a-Pat treasure hunt, and this is going to enable you to complete some missions. So here you go. So you're going to basically log in, clear gates, and clear instance dungeons. And this will net you one of these treasure hunt event tickets. What this is going to enable you to do is unlock some rewards inside of here. This is not as good as the other. So as you jump in, is just basically a bingo board essentially inside of here. And basically what you're doing is trying to unlock the total number of times you get, so that way you can get to the final reward, which is going to be a heroic rune chest. I like that they put a heroic rune chest at the end here. You have the chance of getting some heroic legendary or the rare skill runes as well at 40. Now this does refresh on the board once you have received the best rewards from there. So continue to play these inside of here. You can see this is the best reward. It's basically the best reward, right? So you can see what the reward details are for each board here. So you got treasure hunt board 1, and these are all the rewards that are listed. And then as you start working your way through for treasure hunt board 2, you start to notice that some of the availability of items basically increases, and it's just a little bit better, if not the same things, but you're essentially looking for those little skill chest rooms and looking to work your way to that premium reward. So start working on those. The event shop is always available here. We're going to get ourselves one free one of these. You should have received 5 of these inside your mailbox already, so that way you can start participating in the events. Be on the lookout for those. So I think that's a really good event overall that's basically going on. So those are 2 events that are basically happening. Now, along with this, we also have a check-in event that is currently going for the 50-day celebration event. So that is going to be here. You see it for the next 14 days as you log in. you're basically going to get another chance at Seoji's weapon. So that's 2 weapons. So if you already have it, then that's 2 advancements. If you don't have it, that's unlock of the weapon and an advancement. And they're going to give you 100 design tickets. So you notice underneath here, you're going to get 30 or so custom draw tickets. You're going to get some dungeon keys, some gate keys, some encore mission keys as well. And then on the 14th day, everybody is going to be able to unlock these, like I call it, like the summer. It's the Seaside Spirit costume chest, but it doesn't really make sense to me. It's just like the summer days kind of like uniform. It's a beach uniform kit for Seoji. I probably won't even use the uniform really, but it's nice that they're giving away a uniform inside of game. So make sure that you're logging in every day and hitting those check-ins. I mean, if not just for the keys, the custom draw tickets, those are worth it in a whole. This is probably one of the better 14-day check-in events that I've seen for an event inside of any game that I've been playing. I play a lot of mobile games, so this is a really good one overall. So jump on that. Please don't forget about May's salvage project, which ends in 12 days. The exchange shop is up, and it's going to net you the opportunity to get some of those items from the workshop of Brilliant Light without having to run the workshop of Brilliant Light. And you want as many opportunities and chances at this armor piece as possible, because I can tell you without a doubt that the drops from the workshop of Brilliant Light aren't so great. Matter of fact, these are the only 4 pieces that I've essentially gotten out of that raid, which were somewhat good. The rest of these items, if I was to go through them with you, they are pretty much trash ass drops. I think before the workshop of Brilliant Light was released, there should have been something released so that way we can affect the sub stat and maybe the main stat of the weapon, so that way we can alter and change those to hopefully get different rolls on them. Otherwise, I'm just grinding in the workshop of Brilliant Light and basically praying for better luck, because even though the gear is level 73, some of the gear doesn't have any place basically being utilized for my characters. That's the deal. So I hate to say that to you guys, but it is what it is, right? All right. So next up thing that they added was lead Bora has been added to the rate up system inside the game here. So we basically have 2 cat feline peoples inside of the rate up system. I highly suggest that you skip on the lead Bora rate up system. Save your custom draw tickets for the next characters that are going to basically be into the game. If you haven't pulled on Mylan Fisher after the updates with the workshop of Brilliant Light, I highly suggest that you pull on her and playing with her in a support role. This character is essential to you being able to clear stages inside the workshop Brilliant Light and be able to get those rewards. That's without a doubt. Her and Alicia Blanche in tandem are a unstoppable combo for those stages, and will make things a lot more easier. And if a lot easier. And if you have Seoji Woo, they basically serve as a trio that will help you clear that content. Trust me, it's highly worth it to basically have them inside that content. So go ahead and roll for that one if you haven't already. Like I said, I'd probably go to at least A3 for the advancements on Mylan. She's a pretty decent character. I don't necessarily like playing with the character, but I think that she's a pretty decent character overall. So let's move right along, because I'm trying to get past this stuff. So one of the things that we did get a feedback on was the blessing effects application in the workshop of Brilliant Light. So the workshop Brilliant Light is content that has been added to the game. It is worth noting in here that this content is meant to be mid-game, like mid-in-game type content. So players, please, 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 for the love of God, stop acting as if though this content is something that you're supposed to be able to do on day 1. This is mid-game content to carry us through the summer before the release of the Baron episodes. So just please understand that this is something you're supposed to be working towards, and if you haven't paid to play, you're basically, if you weren't part of the early onset of the games, then you probably aren't looking at completing this content within the first try. That's just the truth. Now, what they've done inside of here is that they've improved the legendary drops inside of places. So what does that mean? So basically, as you play through 2 of the chapters, the Burning Overpass and the Burning Square, you have the ability to get like normal drops, you have mid heroic drops, and then like legendary drops. And essentially, what they've done for this is they've improved the blessing that is available for you to acquire that's at the legendary level. Now, what does this mean? You're gonna probably roll this, and if you're having troubles with this, check out your blessings, re-enter the battles for the Burning Square, re-enter the battles for the Burning Overpass, and see if you can't get more legendary blessings for your account. Like for instance, with Burning Overpass, I'm able to complete all 5 waves of this, and so I'm able to get all 3 rewards from that. However, when I play Burning Square, I seem to run out of time every single time on the 5th wave. So that means I'm still working to build up my account to be able to complete this content and have access to that blessing, that legendary blessing. You need to be looking at it in that concept, is that like, no, this is not stuff that was meant to just be handed. Perfect synopsis for this was like Elden Ring. Elden Ring's the new Shadow of the Erdtree was released, and all I hear is a bunch of people complaining about the fact that, hey, you know what, the bosses are too difficult. And I remember 2 years ago when you guys had cleared all the content and they were sniffing up freaking FromSoft's butt trying to figure out when's the new content coming out, because you basically cleared everything because it wasn't at a difficulty level that was hard enough for you, or you just basically used some skip cheat or something like that to complete the content, and now you're complaining about the fact that you don't have content to play. So look at that in terms of this. So we've got the Workshop of Brilliant Light updates inside here. Now, I do wish that they had done more with the Workshop of Brilliant Light. If I'm being perfectly honest, like the drops have been improved somewhat, but the odds and the rolls that you're basically getting on the gear still feel somewhat lackluster. And just the fact that, you know, stats rolling with what the stats are, they're pretty terrible stats. And one of the things that I do think they need to redress is whether or not they're going to keep this gold cost for unequipping and equipping artifacts inside the game, basically telling me that you know that you're gonna sell me trying to get newer equipment and have to unlock those new equipment pieces inside the game. I really think that they need to change that overall. So those are some of the updates with the Workshop of Brilliant Light. Next up, what they talked about for the updates for the patch or whatever that they've done, outside of that, was a developer note was released, and that developer note was specifically talking about guild summoning. This one's kind of important, so I'll pull it up on the screen so that way you can see it, because there is a redeem code that is available here. So 50-day thanks, THX, is going to be your redeem code that you need to put in, and you're going to net yourself 500 essence stones and 5 of those event tickets for the treasure hunt. So that's really important. Now, the rest of the developer's note goes into talking about the preview of the guild system and the various improvement mentioned in the previous developer's note that they're currently working on. So yes, we're going to have our own guilds that are going to be introduced into the game. So let's take a look at what they have to say here. So you can see, as repeatedly emphasized in previous developer notes, our team places great importance on the guild system. We have dedicated significant time to preparing the guild system to ensure it becomes a special feature for all hunters. Finally, it will be introduced through an update at the end of July. So end of July, so start preparing now, because we don't have like a friend system in the game currently. And we don't have a guild system in the game. It's basically solo play, but the guild system kind of makes sense within the world of solo leveling or rise, especially if you have counts. So the guild creation and joining will be possible across all servers, and guild names cannot be duplicated. This means that it is crucial to create a unique guild name like the White Tiger Guild in the original work. Upon creating or joining a guild, you can access the guild lobby. The guild lobby can be customized with various themes. I don't really care about that. We see that throughout all games, and who cares? Like, who goes into the guild lobby, really? You can grow by completing missions together with your guild members, and there will be a guild exclusive exchange shop and ranking system. So we've seen this in plenty of games like Black Clover. You know, there's just rewards basically for being in that guild. So you want to be in a guild and you want to be planning on joining one of those. We adjust the balance. So Sun Jin Woo and the Hunter's balance is going to be adjusted as well. So you can see this is the Fakna final battle scene. This looks really cool. And you can see, so Sung Jin Woo and the hunters balance adjusted. We adjusted the balance for Sung Jin Woo's weapons and some hunters in the May update. However, despite these adjustments, we acknowledge that some hunters are still not favored. Some runes are of little use despite being of legendary grade. Our team plans to adjust the balance of certain hunters and runes in the July update. Hunters currently under discussion for potential buffs include Choi Jong-in, Lim Tae-gyu, Hwang Dong-soo, Wu Jinchul, Baek Yun-hoo, Emma Laurent, and Silvermane Baek Yun-hoo. Emma has fallen off just a little bit with the introduction of some of the water-based characters and the content that basically has rolled out, but I don't really see Emma as like one of those characters that need to be buffed. Like Choi Jong-in, that dude needs a buff, and he needs a buff bad because, like, realistically, he's one of the higher DPS characters in the game, but nothing about this dude feels like I want to put him on a team. Same thing for like Wu Jinchul. He's not necessarily like an S rank hunter inside the work, but he just feels underwhelming in terms of doing that. And Bayek as well. Like, I'm like, come on, guys, like, they're putting all this work into these OG female type characters that they're introducing, and I'm like, you guys are just missing the cue a lot with some of the characters from the show, or from the manhwa. Next, we would like to discuss the direction of improvements for runes. Currently, there are 44 types of runes, but only part of them are used in specific content. To increase the variety of rune usage, we are considering enhancing the balance of the following runes: the Vital Strike, the Dagger Toss, the Mutilate, the Double Slash, the Vertical Arts, Multi Strike, and the Commander's Touch. One of the things that I really disliked about the Commander's Touch one was that there was no element to some of the ones inside it, so I haven't really used it. Multi Strike, I didn't really find any difference inside there, and the rest of these, they're all pretty much trash in terms of like getting those. So it's nice to see some adjustments be made there because I do believe that skills in these windows should be really, really good, and it doesn't allow for a lot of play with Sun Jin Woo in terms of making him feel like he's your own Sun Jin Woo, and everybody's just following one specific meta or another, and that's it. And with Sun is pretty much just one meta. Many of you have pointed out the issue of having no use for duplicate legendary and blessing stones, which were hard to obtain. To address this, we are preparing a feature that will allow you to convert duplicate legendary runes or blessing stones into a random chest by consuming 1,000 essence stones. This update is planned for July. I do not like this because essentially you're telling me I have to spend 1,000 essence stones for the legendary rune or the blessing stones that I basically acquired more than likely from spending essence stones to get, and now I have to spend another 1,000 essence stones to convert them. Just make this gold. Like, this doesn't need to cost me essence stones. Like, I probably more than likely, if you have legendary runes or blessing stones, you probably more than likely have paid somewhat into that system to get those runes and blessing stones. And so having to pay again with essence stones, I get it. They give essence stones for free inside this game, but having to pay again to combine them, I don't like that idea. If you need a quick response, please contact customer support with the required currency, blah, blah, blah. An improvement discussion on summoning limits of the Army of Shadows. So the system was initially designed to reflect the mechanism from the original work, where Sun consumes mana to summon the Army of Shadows. However, we recognize that this may impact the fun of the game. Therefore, we are currently considering improvements to the system. Essentially, the problem with the shadow system inside the game is that, yes, I think there's a big, especially if you read the manhwa, there's a big thing there to the shadows. Like, some of the shadows aren't just simply like beings that basically are like undead or whatever. These are somewhat semi-autonomous beings that basically have personalities. And I think if you've read the manhwa and you kind of develop a favorite around these, and this is the form of the continuation of those characters as he resurrects them into the world that he's living in. And the problem with the system here is that you develop more of a relationship through the manhwa with the shadows in his army than you do the hunters. So inside the game, you have more emphasis put inside the hunters, where they just really serve as a barometer for sun's power inside the manhwa. And these, because I mean, realistically, some of the shadows become overpower the hunters in the manhwa, and that's the truth. Like you'll have I don't want to give anything away if you haven't read the manhwa, but some of the shadows that he eventually acquires and he levels up, they become more powerful than even some of the S rank hunters inside that they show inside of the manhwa. So the way it's currently presented inside the game is these things basically appear for a very split, brief moment in time. You don't really see them on the map necessarily, and then they're gone. And unfortunately, it just feels very throwaway pretty much, especially because, and I get it because there's a lot that's put into the hunter system, but there should be more work done there. The system, so like some improvements there could be made basically to improve those hunters overall, the shadows overall. I would like to maybe just see the time extended, or the power and impact of summoning some of these guys more impactful than what it is. I mean, like when we finally get around to them getting Kaisel out on the field, the large dragon, I don't understand how he currently fits into that army of shadows, and it's gonna feel less lackluster, especially when he gets some of the other shadows that you're like, hold on, this dude's supposed to be trouncing S rank hunters, and he's not, because he's just there for a moment and just like, okay, well, I worked all that way to just get this hunter and get that shadow and get him leveled up, and we don't. Okay. Anyways, in the world of Arise, each hunter possesses their own taste and fashion styles. For example, Alicia usually sports shimmering blonde hair, but occasionally switches to a pink hue for a change of pace. There are also days when she blah blah blah. So you get this. They're gonna introduce a hunter skin dye system. I could care less. Introduce as many costumes as you want to. Don't sell me on color palettes. I have this god awful feeling that what we're going to end up here with a skin dye system is selling of palettes to us for colors. And now, if you've played, like for instance, the first Descendant, and they did their playthrough, there was a big drama around them basically monetizing the palette system inside there. I think we had the same problem with Anthem back in the day, and I'm hoping that's not the direction that they go forward with. They need to make this free. Selling palettes is not a good idea. Color palettes, swaps, and changes is not going to be a good idea. Faction of the Shield skill level up. Our team is taking continued defensive measures against using unauthorized programs and malicious activities. So the ongoing detection of such activities follows the June update will lead to access restrictions. This is really good just because of the fact that like I'm on a server where I feel like there's no way for me to compete. And the sad truth about it is that it doesn't even feel to me like there's a possibility to compete, because there's just no way some of the people that are in the top are like in the top because they're there legitly, especially if they started around the same time as I did. There's just no freaking way. I mean, and it's not even a matter of like they spent more money than I spent, so they should be there. This is a matter of like, there's no way you completed all of this shit in this, excuse my language, in this time to basically be here. So I feel like it's very disingenuous in terms of some of those. So hopefully that that is handled. So they receive feedback regarding official live streams and communication. Although we currently communicate through developer notes, our global YouTube channel, we believe additional live streams are necessary for more honest and direct communication. We plan to proceed with this once preparations are complete. I think these guys have been doing a phenomenal job at communicating with the community. They don't necessarily tell us everything that we want to hear. However, they do tell us some very good information, and they give us very frequent updates. I mean, the number of dev notes that we have received has been absolutely phenomenal to convey the sense of where the game is going, why things were done the way they have been done, and plans for addressing feedback that they're basically receiving. So I have no complaint whatsoever about what's going on. So lastly, I want to leave off this update for the game with taking a look at the shop, because there was some additional items that have been added into the shop, and just give you guys my take. So number one, the 50-day celebration shop is up. So there's going to be a daily free gift that's here. So make sure you're collecting that. Not the best of rewards, but not the worst of rewards either. And then you can basically, if you have diamonds, you can purchase the 50-day celebration pack 1, which includes, some weapon advancement things. Not enough in my opinion, but it's there. And you notice that it increases for some hunter elixirs as well. Still not enough. Now, when you get to these two, I feel like the prices are equal and the same, but they're not equal value. So you're gonna get 25 custom draw tickets for 1,500 crystals, and some of the low tier mono crystals, and 50,000 gold. You're basically paying for crystals. And then here you're getting 25. This looks like this has been changed. I think it was less than 25 when I looked at it last time. 1,500 diamonds for 25 crystals. So you can see what I'm saying here. Like the custom draw tickets are not the same as the rate up tickets. Like there's not the same value, at least in my opinion, but they have it equating out to the same. Highly worth packs though if you have the diamonds and availability. So basically you're looking at roughly about 3,550 diamonds to basically collect all of those rewards, which I think are actually good, especially at the 50-day celebration packs 3 and 4. Then we have their relay pack, and I cannot speak with high regards enough about their relay packs. And some of you are gonna look at me and go, pay to win, and I'm gonna look at you back and I'm gonna go, guess what? We have pay to win just about every gacha mobile game that there is. We even have it in non-gacha games. This is more of a pay for convenience in my opinion, and it's a way like developers got to get paid to make games, and I find these to be absolutely extremely good rewards. So if you do have the money to basically be spending inside the game, you should be looking at these relay packs. I gave you guys a breakdown of the diamond to dollar value basically inside of the game already. And so essentially when you look at this, the $7.99 is paying for your 880 diamonds, and then you're basically in 20 rate up tickets for free, and you're getting a hunter design ticket. Now, so this is more than likely going to be, I think this was like $9.99 for the next one. You're going to get 40 of these and 2,760 diamonds. So like just between the 7 and this one, basically about $15. I think in total you're looking like $35 because this one's gonna, the third step is going to cost you $21. If I remember correctly, I'm trying to remember from the other relay packs that I have purchased. This one is going to cost you $21, and then the last step is just going to cost you 500 diamonds. So you can see that here. So, and that's going to be 20. So in total, you're going to receive 160 rate up draw tickets, and then you're going to receive the other additional rewards, which are really sweet, especially because of the hunter exclusive designs. It should help you level up any one of your hunter characters that you're basically currently have. I mean, just the diamonds alone, like you can see here, I haven't done the complete math on the diamonds, but this is roughly like what I can't do the math necessarily in my head that quick. But you're basically looking about 7,000, 8,000 diamonds, basically just from the and then 160 rate up draw tickets. They have the most phenomenal rate up packs, relay packs that I think I've ever seen inside the game. So just take a look at it. If it's up to you, it's up to you. I'm not trying to tell you how to spend your money, and don't use your parents' cards necessarily bad. They did add Lee Bora's exclusive weapon inside the game. I highly suggest you guys skip that and maybe just wait to get around. She doesn't necessarily have any great value in the game at current. There's more value put into the border characters, especially with the content that's there. That doesn't mean that she won't probably make an appearance on the stage at some point and have that, but at the moment there just isn't. So I would really just skip out on the lead border there as well. Trust me, just skip out on that one. Next up, they have the today's theme that is still rotating through the shop. I still haven't really found any value in this necessarily, but just as a note, the treasure hunt event tickets are available inside of here. So if you have some of the diamonds, this is, and you're not sure what to be doing with your diamonds, this is a good way, but I'd rather hold on to my diamonds anyways. And then lastly, we have the exchange shop. Nothing really has changed necessarily inside of here, so beware. Just keep an eye out and stuff. But notice that I did say make sure that you take your time to come back to this artifact material exchange. There's less of a reason for you to be holding on to some of the artifacts now, because you're going to have to play that the stages so that way you can get these gear pieces, so that at the very minimum you can use these pieces, the burning, the greed, the blessing, in order to level up your characters, so that way they're in a position to be able to complete the normal content of the workshop of brilliant light. And this is going to make them extremely more powerful inside some of the other content as well. And hopefully you can get a good drop from these with good stats, because I get that is hard, but you're gonna have to work on it. So that's pretty much all the updates. I do want to make a video for you guys individually on Mylan Fisher and some of the tips on the workshop on Brilliant Light. Let me know in the comment section if you feel like that would be worth your while. I appreciate you guys sticking around to the end of this video. Please do me a favor, like and subscribe. It really helps the channel, which is my intent, so that way I can bring you content. Until next time, guys, it's been great.